Right, but what the new rule is, and it really has always been this way, is that if you get inspiration and you already have an inspiration point, you can immediately give that inspiration to somebody else who doesn't have it. Which is...
That's what I mean, but if everybody's just stockpiling them for the smallest things, nobody's going to be without.
Right, exactly. I mean, with the way they're doing it, I mean, so you rest for 8 hours, you get an inspiration point, you get into combat, somebody rolls a nat 1, up, you got another inspiration point. I don't know. I just think that their whole goal of making sure that everybody constantly has inspiration is fucking ridiculous. It leads directly to the same problem in that I've been saying for years, is that nobody wants their character to fail or die. There's a new thing now that is coming up in the D&D community on Twitter, because those guys are a bunch of fucking rubes. So before it was that they wanted during session 0 for the DM to have consent to kill any characters. Now it's even worse. Now they want, yeah, right. So now what they want is that, you know, if you roll a nat 1, you don't necessarily fail. We don't call it failing. We want to call it failing forward. So, you know, maybe you picked the lock and you succeeded on a nat 1, but you broke your lock pick. And I'm like, no, sometimes you just fuck it up. And a nat 1 totally shows that something went completely awry. I mean, my God. Right.
You try to
They should make a safe version for these people and then just let the rest just play the game like normal people who can deal with losing at a game.
Right.
Have that be like a whole different version of D&D together. It's not part of the main set. This is D&D safe.
Right.
And that's safe.
I will be right back.
Don't make the whole version to them. Just give them their own little version. Fucking hell. A nat 1, but you don't fail it?
What's
So, right. You rolled a 1. That's bad.
I will say there were times in Call of Cthulhu where failing was a good thing because you failed to comprehend something that would have broken your mind. So that was like the only exception I can think of.
You don't lose any more sanity because you didn't understand the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you saw something just horrifying and you're too dumb to understand it, then you know it didn't bother you at all. So
ignorance is bliss.
yeah, the smarter characters frequently went insane often. That was like definitely.
That makes sense.
It could save your life from traps to be perceptive, but it made your sanity go down so fast.
Well, and Call of Cthulhu is a great game because nobody's character survives that game. Oh, you're high level? You're either dead with your next roll, or you're insane, and you're out of gameplay. So,
yeah, I had a character that made it like 2.5 campaigns, and they were totally insane by the end of that. And yeah, when they died, it was of something really stupid. I can't remember what, but.
probably died of licking rusty razor blades or some shit.
With that character, I was sick of them and I felt like they were gonna die, so I took a really big chance and I rolled like awesome. So I got all kinds of powers, and yeah, my total sanity went way lower. But I had like a ton of Cthulhu mythos. It was cool. That was a good run.
You failed successfully.
Nobody but like nerds survive that game is the other thing. Like your character has to be a nerd. They have to be like a journalist or like a searcher, or you're never ever going to figure out how to not die.
Right. My character, the character I have in Call of Cthulhu is a World War I veteran that with severe PTSD, probably an alcohol problem, if not worse. and is now a private investigator that keeps a shotgun in his trunk and a 1911 in a shoulder holster. I'm like, this character's not going to live. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he leads with his chin, and he's going to probably go insane and shoot himself.
Every game starts out with like, yeah, let's go to the library. Like, that's the only way to not.
Right, right. Okay.
The only one Call of Cthulhu.
So, this is our new Waterdeep campaign, and I mean, I know it's labeled as Waterdeep Dragon Heist. This is the first leg of this campaign, but there's going to be a lot. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this one. I have run this Waterdeep campaign before, but not like this. When I did it before, I ran it strictly by the book. I didn't add in any stuff. And the weird thing about that is that, so the second, 2/3 of this, of the campaign, which it rolls into Dungeon of the Mad Mage. The maps for each level of Undermountain have multiple, usually at least 4, but sometimes more, offshoots that are, and the maps are labeled, you know, with an arrow. It says "to expanded dungeon," which is for the DM to throw his own stuff in. Now, before this campaign ever came out, there was an anthology book, Tales from the Yawning Portal, that originally, when I had first started thinking of doing that doing that book, and it's not really a campaign. The adventures aren't even linked in it. You kind of have to do a little bit of work to link them. But my original idea was, why wouldn't these just be stuffed down into Undermountain? Well, now they're going to be. So there are numerous side dungeons. Jeff has played, I believe, through many of the adventures in Tales from the Yawning Portal. So it's been quite some time, so I don't know if he'll remember all of it, but he can keep that to himself. But there
actually prevent remembering.
Right, yeah. There are also other anthology books that came out, such as Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, Candlekeep Mysteries, and there was another one that they call it an anthology, and I have a really hard time agreeing with that. Ghosts of Saltmarsh, they say is an anthology, but it's not really, because those adventures were meant to be tied together into a campaign. So it really is its own campaign. But I'm taking these adventures from these anthologies and reworking them and stuffing them into this campaign. Some of the adventures will not be, in Undermountain itself, but some will be. I'm replacing some of the adventures in Dragon Heist. There are going to be and this is a big one, just to let you guys know. So, before I continue that thought, in our past campaigns, I feel that your characters have leveled fairly quickly. Like almost, there's been some situations where characters leveled, almost every week, depending on how far you got through that particular adventure in the campaign. You can probably, for the most part, throw that out the window at this point. This campaign is going to be so large and delve into so much garbage that your leveling is going to be slowed considerably compared to what we've done in the past. So don't get frustrated if your characters aren't leveling. Also, there are now, in this campaign, there are going to be the usual, your XP level rewards, which will be using Milestone, of course. And there, of course, will be Inspiration, which I am going to give out, just like I have in the past. That's not going to... this idiotic one D&D playtest is not going to change the way I do Inspiration. And then there is going to be a new leveling mechanic, which it's really kind of been there all along, but I'm really going to throw it in and let it take a forefront. It's going to be renown leveling. So some adventures you might do, especially for factions, won't give you a level reward so much as they will give you a renown reward. And so the renown for whatever particular organization that you have attached yourself to, that will go up. And, that will give you access to better contacts, a deeper level of information gathering, et cetera, resources, things like that. So yeah, this is going to be an exceptionally large campaign. I think the only other campaign that I've run on this scale would be our Wednesday Night Traveler game. This is going to be quite large. I'm also... Yeah, what was that?
I was going to ask, for the factions, are we starting with those, or are they going to be offered to us in the near future? I wasn't sure on that.
They are going to be offered to you in the near future.
Okay.
And it will happen before 5th level. So that much I can tell you for sure. There's also going to be and I'm calling it a subplot, although it's just because it's a subplot doesn't mean that the danger isn't huge. So that's going to be running in the underground, or in the background of this entire thing. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. So welcome to Waterdeep Dragon Heist, the first session of our new campaign. And before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. If these are not sponsorships or partnerships of any kind, these are just products that we really like. Today we would like to thank Dogmight Games. Dogmight Games makes beautiful wooden tabletop accessories for your games, such as dice trays, DM screens, player vaults, dice towers. They have all manner of awesome products, and all of them can be customized. If you order something that is customized, it usually ships within 6 to 8 weeks of purchase. But they have a lot of stuff that's already in stock in their inventory. So if you order one of those items, those usually ship in 1 to 2 business days from the time of order. If you are interested in doing that, we do have a code that you can use in your cart for 10% off. It is good for everything on the site. And when you go to checkout, just use code FRIEND in all capital letters, and you will get 10% off of your next purchase from Dogmight Games. If you are a fan of our Wednesday Night Traveler game, check out our website via Obsidian Portal. The adventure log is written in the manner of news service articles from Traveler News Service. Kind of deals with things going on all across the Trojan Reach and gives a little bit more insight into the political situation, although the more that the characters get up to their shenanigans, the more they are going to be front page news. So definitely check that out. If you like what you see, please go to the front page and give us a thumbs up. We do like to see the fan links. If you've ever wanted to play Traveler, we are attempting to start a new Traveler Deep Night Revelation campaign on Friday nights. It would run 7 to 9 p.m. Via Roll20 and Skype. That would be West Coast, PST. There is a $5 fee to play per session, which covers bandwidth, the cost of assets, maps, books, etc. And so if you want to, if you're interested in joining that campaign, go ahead and leave a comment on this video, and I can find a way to hook you up. You guys don't know each other. This is a map of the city of Waterdeep and all of its wards. The one area that is listed that isn't really a ward is Undercliff over here. Undercliff is more of a farmland that's just outside of Waterdeep to the east. And it's mostly farmland, and there are a couple of noble estates out there, et cetera, et cetera. But you guys have been, I would imagine you have pretty much grown up in Waterdeep. You would be considered more city folk. You know that you unlike unlike your previous characters, you can't just run around the city killing people on a willy-nilly, because that'll end up throwing you in jail or getting you hung or working on a chain gang work detail somewhere. So there's that. But you would know this, living in Waterdeep. You're not inherently lawbreakers. You don't look like lawbreakers. Well, maybe Brian does, but being a bugbear. You guys are fledgling wannabe adventurers. And where do fledgling wannabe adventurers go? Well, of course, you go to the biggest draw for adventures pretty much on the Sword Coast, if not a lot of Faerun. This place is known worldwide. It is the Yawning Portal Tavern. And the Yawning Portal is actually kind of right on the edge there between the Dock Ward, Trade Ward, and Castle Ward. The Yawning Portal is busy almost at all hours. This is a little example, a little cartoon example, and at the bottom of this, if you scroll down, there is a legend that will tell you who each of these people is. Most of them are not super important to this campaign, but there is a long list of people. You know, they list Xanathar, and I'm like, I really don't think Xanathar comes into the Yawning Portal and gets a tankard of ale. But I mean, I can't rule it out either.
He's right there.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, it's Xanathar. Yeah. So.
Come on, you guys. Go off the clock.
This is the Yawning Portal, and you are all kind of spread out around here, and I will go around and ping your character. So let's start with Empa King. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Empa King?
I'm a Ponzi noble, self-named to designate my impression of myself. I haven't done a whole lot of detailed backstory except to kind of wing him as a bit of a jerk at times, but he's still willing to help out people when they need it. They just kind of have to acknowledge thank you and that sort of thing. He comes from a family that was once important, but has slowly been regaining their stature in the noble realms, but he's out and about because he doesn't like his situation at home.
All right. Just a moment here. There we go.
All right, I gotta go actually.
Oh, do you? I'm sorry. All right. Well, okay. We'll keep you in the loop.
All right.
Let's see here. Sparkles of the Twilight. Tell us a little bit about Sparkles.
Sprinkles has grown up. She's a little, what the hell's that? 4-foot fairy. instead of regular fairy wings, she has black raven wings as part of her traits. She grew up with the family worshiping the deity Floon, goddess of the moon, and she spends most of her time doing patrols on the outskirts of town and the forest around the city of the dead, I believe is what we talked about.
Yeah.
And she just goes out there, looks for poachers, bandits, things of that nature. She basically just guardsman kind of thing. That's what her family does, trying to protect the forest. And that's pretty much about it. She's super happy. Like, very, very happy.
Super excited to be here back.
I feel happy. We have Bug dubbed Slug. Why don't you tell us about Bug? Are you muted? Mr. Brian?
I sure was muted. All right, yeah. Bug Dub Slug, that's how the whole thing, is a bugbear who was somehow found his way lost and ended up in a monastery kind of place where he was then taught religion, and as opposed to being like most goblinoids and others, he is a bit more holy and righteous and noble because of where he was raised. He decided that due to his size and force, he should be a force for good out there in the world and go out there to adventure and fight. But he doesn't think that all of his kind are bad or evil because he's not bad or evil, so they can't all be bad or evil.
Excellent. Excellent. And so, yeah, I'm sure that I can just see this bugbear going around the Yawning Portal. Do you have a moment to talk about whatever god that I...
I see you struggling, my friend. Perhaps I can tell you about the ways of my lord.
Why don't we hear about Edith?
Edith is an elderly woman who gets lonely and summons cat familiars. She's a failed merchant, and she played it real safe with her business and lost everything. So she's out looking for some excitement. She's rolling the dice in life because it didn't pay off so much to be so safe before.
Okay. So, as you guys are, this is probably your first time coming into the Yawning Portal. Like I said, the Yawning Portal is, it draws the adventurers to it like a black hole sucks in debris. And people that generally aren't, of the adventurer persuasion, a lot of people don't come to the Yawning Portal. They would be slightly intimidated. And those that aren't adventurers that do come to the Yawning Portal are either looking for adventurers or I don't know. It's kind of like in the real world, when you're younger, you're like, hey, let's go to that strip club on the shitty side of town. Yeah, there's a chance that one of us might get shot, but that's part of the allure, right? So it's that kind of group that comes. And so, of course, the major draw, or the biggest attraction to the Yawning Portal is the 40-foot diameter pit in the center of the Yawning Portal. And over this pit, there is a wooden crane-like arm and a rope and pulley system with just a little plank of wood that the rope is tied to. And for 1 gold piece, they will lower you down, going down the well, as they say. And this hole leads to Undermountain, which is the biggest dungeon on the Sword Coast, if not the entirety of Faerun. There are entire sections of Undermountain that have never been explored. And originally, historically, Undermountain was originally excavated by the Delzoun dwarves, thousands of years ago. That dwarven empire. Later, there was a mage and his, I believe, 7 apprentices, a mage called Hallister Blackcloak, that went down and for some reason decided to make Undermountain his home. And of course, he did this thousands of years ago. But there are many to this day that insist that Hallister is still alive. And as are some of his apprentices, and that he takes even new apprentices at times. Nobody's been able to confirm or deny that rumor. But they say that he's down there. One person a couple of people who initially went down the well before the Yawning Portal even existed here were Durnan and Mert the Moneylender, 2 famous people in Waterdeep. Mert is as his name implies, is a moneylender. He has a loan business, banking and such. And he is very well-to-do and famous in Waterdeep. Durnan, on the other hand, his partner at the time, is now famous because when he came out of the well, he could not bring himself to move or to be very far away from the well. And the well used to actually be a tower, and something that Hallister did, likely, sucked the tower down into the very earth, and this is all that's left. And so Durnan built the Yawning Portal Tavern around this hole, and now he charges 1 gold piece to lower you down. Durnan is quite the storied character, and is hundreds of years old. Something that he and Mert found down there stopped them from aging. And Durnan, he loves the Yawning Portal Tavern. He himself is kind of a gruff individual. He very storied past, but both he and Mert came out of Undermountain incredibly wealthy. And so now he charges 1 gold piece to lower people down the well, and you can poke around, do whatever you're going to do. Meanwhile, everybody else in the Yawning Portal places bets on how fast you're going to die. And then if you want to come back up, it costs another gold piece paid in advance. They lower a bucket down. You can put your gold piece per person into the bucket, and they send the bucket back up, and then they lower down the chair to bring you out of the well. There are many curios throughout the Yawning Portal taproom. Empa King, roll a d20. So, one of the curios, a lot of these are trinkets and oddities that people find, and they'll either come back out and they'll give it to Durnan, kind of like going to the Irish pub and throwing the dollar or whatever at the ceiling and getting it and attaching it to the ceiling. A lot of these people will give Durnan some of these trinkets. One of the items that you find that is hanging on a plaque on the wall is an iron gauntlet, and when you touch it, it is hot to the touch. Sparkles, roll a d20.
Anything I'm after, or just the base 20?
Just the base 20.
16.
You are wandering around, and at the bar, on the corner of the bar, you see that there is a statuette of a panther. It's made of wood and is painted black.
And where's that at?
It's on the corner of the bar, like down here.
Oh, okay. If possible, Sparkles would like to pull up her hood and try to be stealthy, like non-noticeable, as she's wandering around.
Okay.
Since she does a lot of out in the woods stuff, she's not used to a lot of crowds.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I will say, Sparkles and Bug, you don't feel in the Yawning Portal. You don't feel as you don't feel like you stand out as much as you do walking the streets of Waterdeep. People in here, there is a wider range of those outside classes. What some might refer to as greenskins, not necessarily all goblins and orcs and whatnot, but there are more outside races. There's tieflings and half-orcs, and bugbears and fairies don't necessarily really stand out as special in the Yawning Portal.
Well, for her, it's not so much as she feels like somebody's staring at her, but she more feels like going to Walmart after the first of the month.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're all crazy. Like, I'm just going to be over here.
Right. Bug, roll a d20.
I'm going to go to Walmart after the first of the month.
10.
As the waitress, Bonnie the barmaid, comes over and brings you your she brings you your ale and some food, which will cost you 5 silver pieces, by the way. And part of
6.
You what?
I gave her 6.
Okay. Part of the change that she gives you is that you receive a gold coin stamped with a worn hawkwing helm crest. You've never seen a coin like this. Which brings us to... assuming that I can read this. Oh, that's better. So Waterdeep, you guys know about copper pieces, silver pieces, electrum pieces, gold pieces, and platinum pieces. Waterdeep mints their own coins. This isn't something super important that you need to remember, but these are the coins of Waterdeep. A nib is your basic copper piece. A towel is kind of an in-between the nib and in between a copper piece and a silver piece. The sun, of course, is a silver piece. The shard would be an electrum. Gold pieces are called dragons. And then there are platinum pieces called the harbor moon. You'll note that towels are kind of made, I don't know if you've seen like Chinese, ancient Chinese coins, but they had a hole in them so that you could thread them through a rope that generally you used as a belt. So you always had your coins right there with you. But these are the coins of Waterdeep. Edith, roll. Oh, wait, Bug. Make a perception check.
Nope.
No dice on that, huh?
Let's see here. 6.
Yeah, no. No, never mind.
Put that one away. It didn't so much as roll as just plop right on a 3. I was like, okay.
Edith, roll a d20.
Got a 15.
On the table, in the middle of the table, as a matter of fact, is one of the said curios. It's kind of sitting there like it's a, there's a candle, there's a couple of candles around it, like it's a decoration piece. It is an empty jar that, when opened, a wolf howl sounds from it and continues until you put the lid back on it. Sparkles, roll. You see Bonnie the barmaid come up, and she's getting another round of drinks for somebody. Sparkles, roll a perception check. Sparkles? There you go.
Sparkles is very, very excited to have rolled a 21.
A 21? Wow. Okay, so
She has expertise in perception.
you notice something strange about Bonnie, the barmaid. Like, you notice that, so Bonnie appears to be a attractive human female, but there's something about her that there's something strange going on. Like maybe she's not really a human female. And she takes her platter of drinks and heads down here. Do you serve somebody else?
Sparkles will roll a stealth check, run over here, and creep behind a chair and peek at her.
Okay, go ahead and make your stealth check and hang on to that number. Impa King, roll a d10.
Okay. 5.
You see what appears to be a wizard's apprentice sitting at a bar, or sitting at the bar, and carefully making exact sketches of the various curios that they see around the Yawning Portal Tavern.
You see this guy at the bar?
New. But you can go up and... So the guy at the bar, if you would like to introduce yourself.
I'm interested in the attractive waitress.
You could hail the waitress. What would you like to do?
I will go offer her the honor of getting my next drink order.
Okay, make a perception check.
8.
So she says, would you like, do you want a pitcher of ale, a bottle of wine, or rather, do you want a mug of ale, pitcher of ale, a pitcher of wine, or would you like fine wine, or do you want an entire meal?
I look down at myself and kind of put my hands out like, have you seen me? I'd like a pitcher of fine wine.
So a bottle of fine wine is 10 gold pieces.
Yes, I deserve it.
All right. She tells you she will be right back with your bottle of fine wine. She goes back up to the bar.
Sparkles stepped up her so she can keep an eye on her.
Sparkles, make an Arcana check.
Arcana will be 12.
You suspect that Bonnie the barmaid is actually a doppelganger.
It's an alien.
But she just keeps going on about her work like a normal, like any other barmaid. You all sit around a sturdy wooden tables lit by brightly burning candles and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sound of gamblers yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. Then all the noise is eclipsed by a shout, "Ya pig! Like killing me mates, does ya?" Then a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild swinging punch from a male human whose shaved head is covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators clusters around the brawl. What do you do? So, Empa King, I'm going to move you over here because this all becomes very interesting. So,
Wait, where is
so right here, this table, this guy here just threw a punch and hit this female half-orc in the jaw, and they're getting into a fight. And everybody's like getting up, you know, the crowd is getting up and chanting, "Fight, fight, fight, fight," and they're all watching. What would you guys like to do?
I want to cast Grease.
Shit. Okay.
You young people need to calm down.
It's been so long since anybody cast Grease. Oh, God. It's the party spell.
It's going to make it awfully hard to get in a bar fight, that's for sure.
Oh, my. All right. Hold on, here I go. I need to look this up.
You cast Grease, I'll cast Fire. We'll get this party started.
So a 10-foot square centered on a point within range turns into difficult terrain. So it is a 10-foot square. These are 5-foot squares. Where would you like to draw Grease?
I guess in between the orc and the other people as best I can.
Okay, so a 10-foot square. Like right there. Is now.
Sure, that's going to make it pretty hard for anybody to beat each other up. So I think I've done my grandma job of breaking up the violence.
All right, so they need to make dex saving throws. Oh no! Yagra, the half-orc, slips in the grease and falls down. Oh. Assuming that I can make this work. And Krentz what's your spell save DC? Edith or Cameron, what's Edith's spell save DC?
Sorry, I was muted. It's 13.
So Krentz also slips and falls down. And the crowd is starting to laugh greatly. Anybody else want to do anything? Or are you all just gonna... So, when you cast Grease, these these four lovely gentlemen in black armor, or leather armor, all kind of stand up and look menacing.
I would like to start to walk over, kind of like taking a wide berth as I go, so kind of like around this way.
Okay. Yeah, the crowd watching the fight starts to laugh at having seen the half-orc and Krantz go down.
I'd like to shout, is there no peaceful way to settle this while like slamming my maul down in front of me? It's like, we'll show of force.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Persuade.
23.
Okay. Hold on just a moment. All right. Oh, God, seriously? So, actually, on your 23, I guess this doesn't really matter, because on your 23, Yagra lifts herself up out of the grease and nobly reaches over and offers her hand to help Krentz stand up. Krentz slaps her hand away and kind of belly crawls out of the grease over to here and then gets up with the help of his companions. And the half-orc introduces herself as Yagra Stonefist. And she looks over her shoulder towards Edith and kind of chuckles and waves Edith to come join her and says, Durden, bring a pitcher of ale for my two new friends, this young woman and this fine bugbear.
The name is Bugged Up Slug.
Am I able to move past this guy?
Oh yeah. They're kind of calmed down at this point.
Good.
Doesn't just shove you in the hole.
I had guessed on the ready if they were gonna mess with me.
So, Yagra, both Edith and Bug make a, and of course Empa King is staying there, or sitting at this table, and Yagra is just like, reaches over and offers her hand to shake Empa King's hand. and introduces herself as Yagra.
I do a deep courtesan-style bow and kiss the back of her hand and greet her with warm regards for her boldness and challenging superior numbers.
Oh, well, thank you. Everybody can make a perception check.
Ampa King is not a clever one.
Wow.
11.
I
So,
got 14.
Bug and Edith got it. What about Sparkles?
Sparkles rolled a 1. She's too focused on watching the shapeshifter.
Okay. So, Edith and Bug, you notice that Yagra on her right forearm has a fairly intricate tattoo of a black winged snake coiling around her forearm. And Yagra isn't, no, she's not shy. She says that she is a mercenary. She kind of explains a little about herself. She says she's a mercenary, that that her job is to protect a negotiator named Davil Starsong. She says, be honest, the reason I'm here is because I find the job terribly boring. But she says, usually I come in here and I pass the time by challenging adventurers to arm wrestling contests. So you notice this black wing. Bug and Edith, you can make a history check.
Soft 20.
Ooh. What about Bug?
21. Soft 21.
So you both know that
No, sorry, 19. 19.
You both know that the black winged snake is the symbol of the Gentarim, the black network. An organization that, well, the Gentarim is both, historically the Gentarim are fairly feared, as being, thugs and cutthroats, and but I mean, Yagra seems, fairly okay.
My character flaw is I find most people are trustworthy. Hey, where's my belt pouch? So I'm going to find her very endearing.
Bonnie the barmaid comes over with Empa King's fine bottle of wine and 2 pitchers of ale. Yagra pays for it. And as she's setting it down on the table, shouts of alarm suddenly ring out as a hulking creature climbs out of the shaft in the middle of the taproom. A monster with warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose, and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that a half-dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies. Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear, except for Durnan the barkeep, who shouts, "Troll!" Over here,
Well, that's just for hamper drink.
a troll and 3 sturges have come out of the well in the middle of the taproom. Everybody roll initiative.
Ooh, next 20.
Ooh, piece of candy. He did fairly well. Holy shit, Sparkles.
Nat 20 plus 3.
For level 1s, you guys did pretty damn good. All right, so Sparkles, what is your stealth number?
21.
Yeah. So you are hidden. Nobody's going to be able to see you. What would you like to do?
Let me double check. I think favorite foe is a bonus action. Check real quick.
So I haven't, all right, I have, but I don't remember. So the new ranger favored foe, do they have to pick from a list?
Well, there was favored enemy is the new one. I went with the optional one from Tasha's.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's in Tasha's. Yeah, I didn't like new favored enemy.
Yeah, there is a lot about this new one. I'm like, nah, this thing needs to go into the dumpster. They need to rethink most of this. There's all these people like, oh my god, they finally fixed Ranger. I'm like, no, they didn't. Of course, I've been saying for ages, all the people that think that Ranger was broken simply weren't playing their class properly. So, I mean...
According to what I'm reading, I declare it after I attack that creature, then it is marked as a favored foe.
Let's see here.
When you hit a creature with an attack, you can call upon your mystical bond with nature to mark the target as a favored enemy for 1 minute, or until you lose concentration. First time on each of your turns, when you hit the favorite enemy, you deal damage to it, including your increases that damage by 1d4.
Right. So yeah. So you do it after your attack.
Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
The big guy.
So what are you doing?
The big ogre.
The troll. Yeah.
Or troll, yeah. I'm shooting the troll.
Go for it.
That's going to be 18 on the longbow.
That hits.
And I will go ahead and mark him.
So he will take an additional d4 damage. I believe that's what it said, right?
Yes. It increases over time, but for now it's a d4.
Right.
15 damage.
Ouch. You sure you're level 1?
I roll max damage on the 8.
Okay, so the troll lets out a roar, and this arrow is sticking out of him.
And for movement, check. Is there above us? Is there any like chandeliers or things of that nature?
Yeah, there are chandeliers. Well, I mean, they have candles in them, but yes.
Well, she's only 4 foot. If she sees a chandelier she thinks she can get onto, she's gonna fly up to it. Is that something I can see?
Sure. I would allow that. Let's see here. I'm going to throw a wing on you. So you fly up to a chandelier.
Yep. She doesn't like to stay in midair while flying, but she'll fly to like ledges and trees.
Okay. All right. So you
Okay.
all. So okay. When you made your attack, did you roll with advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have hit. The other one was like a 3.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you didn't get a nat 20. Bug.
No.
Bug, what would you like to do? You see the basically there's people running away from this this troll. Yagra, on the other hand, is getting ready to run towards the troll. What would you like to do, Bug?
I would go towards the troll as well.
Okay.
Which one's the troll? I got distracted.
So the troll is actually on the northern side of the well up here.
Oh, that's why I couldn't see it. I was like, what the hell? Oh, okay. Alright. Then I will yell, for the good! And run. I'll do a dash so I can get up that way, because I imagine that's pretty far to go.
Yeah, let's see here. How far do you got to go?
I doubt I can just like move through a bar easily if it's got people and whatnot.
You know what? 50, yeah. Well, 60 feet would put you in range of a sturge right up here. 55 feet would put you up here.
I'm not sure if I want to dash right up to it and then just stop moving. That
Yeah,
seems-
you would be able to get up into this area with a dash.
Alright, I'll do that.
Okay.
I will go close, but not right in front of them, like over here. Just be like, so I'm not just like right next to all three. Like, hi, all of you beat up on me now.
Okay. Let's see here. Yagra is going to do the same. And she lets out she starts to laugh, kind of, and yells at Bug. She's like, yes, my new friend, let's do this together. The Xanathar Guild guys are like, nope, fuck this. And they also...
Yeet right out.
Yeah, they're like, they dash up here towards the exit door. Over here, there's a bard named Three Strings that's been up here playing by the fire, and he's like, nope. And he runs actually into this room, or this curtained off room, and ducks down behind a chair. Edith, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move a little bit. Let's see if that gets me. Okay, I can cast Ray of Frost on the troll.
Okay, hold on just a second. Yeah, God forbid they put things in alphabetical order. Huh, okay, never mind. So what'd you get?
13.
So you miss the troll. Actually, with a 13, you probably hit the troll, but it doesn't do any damage to him.
Okay. Not a good enough hit.
Sturges. No, not the epic motorcycle gang, or the motorcycle party, but the bat-sized flying mosquito creatures. This Sturge is going to come right over here and try to nibble on Bug. That one's going to nibble on Yagra. This one is going to come over here and start to bite this guy just sitting at the table minding his own damn business. So first we'll do the guy minding his own business. The Sturge hits with a 19 and is latched onto him and is sucking away. For 5 hit points of blood loss. All right, and on Yagra, 16, Yagra herself loses 5 points and has a Sturge attached to her. And now for Bug. 17 to hit.
Yep, that just passed mine.
You take 5 points of piercing damage, and the Sturge is now attached to you. On its next turn, it will start to drain blood from you.
Ow.
The troll... Troll is going to come up here and you can tell, well, first of all, the troll needs to regen. So the troll gains back 10 hit points. And the troll swings. It gets 3 attacks. You guys notice that the troll has numerous Sturge bites all over it, and it is not at full health. These Sturges have been attached to it, just kind of feeding on it and draining it. It hits this column and busts through the curtain here, and then steps inside and makes another claw attack on the table. But the table doesn't break. Empa what would you like to do? I think you're muted. Mr. Jeff, you're muted.
Sorry, jump up on the table for better view, and I cast Hex on the Sturge there.
Okay. Is that the Hex spell?
Yes. So
Okay.
it doesn't do damage right away. I don't know what it rolled, but then on a Wiz saves, it's got disadvantage.
Okay.
And then I will Eldritch Blast that same Sturgy.
Go for it.
23 hit.
Hold on here. This isn't cooperating with me. There we go. A 23 indeed hits.
Okay, so here's the force damage. Here's the necro damage. And 2 more thunder damage.
Oh, but wait. So the Sturge is currently attached to Yagra. Roll another attack roll because you're at disadvantage.
It's 17.
That still hits. So 6 points of force damage, 2 points of necro damage. The Sturge, like, he finger guns, and the Sturge does a bloody pop and is splattered across the room.
So I yell out, I shall save you, fair lady.
All right.
As she's in bug guts.
Yes, yes. I just have this image of like camping and having mosquito on my forehead and Jeff coming up and killing the mosquito with like a full can of Coors Light. I'll help you, fair lady. Sparkles, what would you like to do?
Do I have a pretty good view of the big act?
Yeah, well, yes, because that curtain around that little private table he knocked that pillar down and has torn through it. So from your chandelier, yes. Before we move forward, the one thing that is good out of the new playtest is that they fixed flight, and they essentially fixed it by hard coding what the hover option means. So the way flight was kind of done previous, and I think we're going to continue to we're going to definitely use this from now on. The way flight was written before is that you fly a certain number of feet, and then it kind of went, I'm on the ground, I fly, and then I'm on the ground again. That no longer applies. Now you can fly and you can remain in the air. The hover feature more applies to things like a beholder. So if you, for whatever, let's say that you used the sleep spell successfully on a beholder. This would probably never happen, but let's say that it did. The beholder would fall asleep, is considered incapacitated, but does not fall to the ground because they have hover. They just fall asleep and continue to hover in the air. So to remain aloft, you no longer need to have hover. You can fly and stay in the air.
She still likes to perch for stable bow shooting.
Definitely. I just, because this has come up in the past. So
Super happy that they defined the difference.
Oh, yes, me too.
So if I got a clear shot, she's gonna whip off a shot at her favorite enemy.
Go for
her
it.
favorite spell. Soft 20.
That hits.
Ugh, crap damage. 7 damage.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Man, there must be a lot of people play testing on Roll20 today because it is laggy as shit. Okay, so you hit Bub. Hey, Bug, what do you want to do? You've got a sturge suckling your neck.
I would like to grab at it to pull it off.
Okay, you have advantage on the attack. Or, no, you don't. You can make an attack. Technically, the sturge is, I guess, grappling you. So you would have disadvantage to attack anybody else.
Okay, but I can attack.
Yes.
Okay. 22.
Oh, yeah. Are you attacking it? Are you attacking it? What you could do is you could just reach up, grab it, and squeeze.
Yeah, I'm reaching up, grabbing it, and if I successfully grab it, then I want to throw it to the ground.
Okay. So, yeah, you grab it and squeeze. What's your strength modifier?
3.
You just pick it up, squeeze, throw it on the ground, and this sturge goes and is dead.
Oh, nice.
Sturges don't have, a whole lot of fortitude.
So get off me.
All right. Madam Edith, what would you like to do?
Okay, the sturges are dead.
There's one all the way over here sucking on some poor bar patron.
How far away are they?
They are...
Can I freeze it off like a wart? Maybe closer?
You would be at disadvantage because it is attached to him.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think the troll is more concerned.
That's true.
Okay, can move a little closer, I think. Let's give Ray of Frost another try.
Okay.
This one's 19 too.
That's a hit.
Just 1d8, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
Got 8 frost damage. Cool.
Nice. And he has the slowed condition. Oops. Now, oh my God. There we go. Okay. The sturge over here sucks 5 points of blood out of this bar patron and is pretty happy to just keep doing that. The troll, not happy with this situation at all, is going to step 5 feet, is going to make a claw attack on Yagra and hit with a 22, doing 11 points of claw damage. And then going to claw Yagra again, but misses with an 11, and then reaches over and attempts to bite Bug with a 25.
Yeah.
For 8 piercing damage.
Bug's down.
Ugh. So you guys see this bugbear paladin get bit and drop to the ground.
Stupid troll.
From behind the bar, you see You see Durnan reach up behind the bar, and there is a great sword, very shiny, and you don't even have to get close to it. You can see that this thing is razor sharp. Durnan grabs it off the wall and runs his thumb along the edge, and it bursts into flame. He says, "That's a troll, you idiots. You have to use fire." And he takes off towards the troll. And these guys... Well, I'm going to move him out of the way for a second. Those guys all yeet out of the tavern. They're like, "Yep, not our problem." Impa King, what would you like to do?
I will, in a dashing fanner, move to the other table
Okay.
so I can get a line of sight on the troll.
So are you jumping from table to table?
I'm not quite that acrobatic, except I do know I want to be on the table to look over people. So it's not...
You're not showboating?
it's not gymnastic, it's just practical.
Okay.
And I'll take bonus action to move my hex to the troll.
Okay.
Then I will blasty blast, because that is my way.
So the troll is now whizzed. Again, it's whiz.
Yes, hex and disadvantage on whiz.
Okay.
$19 to hit.
That is a hit.
So, let's see, there's the D10 and the D6 plus 2. So 10 force, 4 necro, 2 thunder.
Wow. Okay. 10 force. So 14 total? Or
16.
16.
This is the 2 thunder.
Okay. Actually, that should be 18.
I'll tell the waitress, don't worry, fair lady, I'll protect you.
She says something along the lines of, "Oh, you're so heroic."
I beam.
Sparkles, what would you like to do?
Too much than I can do in one turn, but we'll come back to that. We will fly to here. And Sparkles will fly to there, point at the downed person, be like, "What is it? You can do it!"
You can do it!
And cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
And that's going to be... That's not too bad. 9 HP to the down citizen.
Okay. So Bug has 9 HP, is prone, but you are alive.
Your leg picks up and back into the fight.
So Bug, you can spend half your movement to stand up.
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity, right?
It does not. They have not made any changes to that. Because, you know, that might lead to you taking damage and dying. We can't have that.
All right. Then I will just try to attack the troll. You know, I was going to leave it alone. It looked like it was struggling.
Okay.
And now it's done.
Go for it.
Dice ended up on, like, between your numbers. Gave my tray a shake. Of course, it didn't go to the 20. Had to go to the 14.
Of course.
So a 19 to attack?
That hits.
Good. Nine points of damage. Wait, no. 12 points of damage.
Ooh. So your maul hits this troll right in the shoulder with a... You can hear... Everybody in the bar can hear the bones crunch.
Good.
And Yagra is like, excellent hit, my friend. And she swings her longsword, but she misses. Durnan jumps over onto a table and swings his greatsword. Ooh, he hits. Let's see, that is... Yeah. For 12 points, and the troll goes down.
That was exciting.
Meanwhile, over on this side of the bar, this poor bar patron gets up and he's like, get it off, get it off, get it off. And he has this scourge still attached to him. And he's running around. Edith, what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose I'll try and help him. Let's see here. Here.
Freeze his face off.
I might be able to do something else. Let's see. No, I gotta try and freeze it off like a ward. And I'll be at disadvantage. Okay. Nat 20.
Ooh, double damage. So they are using regular critical rules. I get to do crits again. So you get double damage on your spell.
4.
Well, that's still more than enough. And
Cool.
you see this scourge. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. You see this scourge kind of become frozen and just fall off of this guy's neck. And he's like, oh, thank you, madam. I greatly appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Durnan, kind of, he puts the flame out on his greatsword and kind of heaves it up on his shoulder, and he goes, you all fought well. Drinks are on the house. And he goes back behind the bar doing what Durnan does. And you guys kind of all come over and you all pile around this table.
Sparkles goes back to watching the bartender, or the barmaid.
Okay. Yagra goes up to the bar. The bar patron that was getting nibbled on comes over and introduces himself to Edith. He says, I thank you, fair lady. My name is Maloon Wardragon.
Oh, that's a nice name.
He is a cheery, optimistic, warm-hearted man, and he says he is eager to fight alongside anyone I consider a friend, and you, ma'am, are definitely a friend to Maloon Wardragon.
Well, I'll blush a little bit at that.
He tells you that if you have any future issues or needs, he says, I am actually a part of Force Grey. All of you can make a history check.
No.
18.
Okay.
Sparkle's got a 10.
Okay.
I like 8. Damn it.
So, Sparkles and Bug, you know that, you know about Force Grey. Force Grey is I guess they're kind of a mercenary group, but really they are the elite private force of the Black Staff of Waterdeep, and the Black Staff being the queen shit mage of Waterdeep, and Force Grey is kind of her personal elite group. Your previous characters have met a member of Force Grey in the giant that assisted you in Storm King's Thunder, the Frost Giant. The one who got lost, disappeared fighting Imrith in the Oracle when the cavern collapsed in on him. So you know about Force Grey. What you also know is that more so than the fact that that they are the personal force of the Black Staff, you know that Force Grey doesn't really have the best. They have the reputation of getting things done, but they don't really have the best reputation around Waterdeep, because in the process of getting things done, they generally cause a lot of property damage. Like, they're kind of like the Avengers in New York. The insurance companies hate them. But he tells you that he's a member of Force Grey, and that if you have any need in the future, that he would be willing to answer any questions that you might have. And then he goes over and sits at another table, leaving you guys to drink your free ale and your free food. Bonnie brings over food. Sparkles, you continue to eyeball Bonnie. You're like, I'm pretty sure this is a doppelganger. But I mean, it's a nice doppelganger, or at least it's acting nice.
Who am I sitting next to? I don't want to get hurt.
Impa King, Edith, and Bug. And I would imagine this is an opportunity for you all to introduce yourselves to one another, now that you're comrades in arms due to a bar fight. That's usually how I've discovered that works.
I'm sampling my wine and deciding whether I like it or not, and then questioning whether I should post a review on the local paper boards about it.
Yes.
Yelp.
The Yelp broadsheet.
Post on ye old Yelp.
Yes.
It's Y''ELP.
Ah, I guess it is.
Do you got doppelgangers use magic to disguise themselves, or is it just part of their...
It's just a part of their race.
Well, so what if they are? Is that going to cause a problem?
So, generally, doppelgangers will murder somebody and then assume their identity. You don't know. I mean, that's general knowledge about what a doppelganger does. You don't know what Bonnie's backstory really is. But you, as you're sitting there, you learn a little bit. So, of course, you know Durnan. The bard, 3 strings. His name is Matrim 3 Strings Merrig. He's a socially awkward bard. That kind of is oxymoronic. He likes to perform here at the Yawning Portal. He's called 3 Strings because he plays a lute that only has 3 strings remaining. He lives there. He lives at the inn He spends his afternoons and evenings here in the tavern. And he is actually a fairly good friend of Bonnie, the barmaid. The gentleman sitting at the bar is Jalister Silvermane. He is an agent of the Lord's Alliance. He actually reports directly to Laeral Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep. And he congratulates you on a job well done as well.
Who knew that killing a troll would make you so popular?
Right. There is this woman over here sitting, a dark-skinned woman sitting by herself. Her name is Obaya Ude. Obaya is a priest, and she has traveled all the way from Chult to sponsor expeditions into Undermountain with the goal of bringing its magical treasures back to her employer, the merchant prince Wakanga Otamu of Port Nyanzaru. But she discourages, she congratulates you on a job well done with the troll, but she discourages you from actually going down into the well. She suggests, maybe getting a little bit more experience under your belt before doing such a thing.
We got this.
Empa King will ask her if there's a spa at the bottom of the well.
She says, there are many things at the bottom of the well. I don't believe that a spa is one of them.
I think I'll pass.
A figure... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The fellow with the 3-string lute, does he like it that way? Or, because I know mending, I could offer to fix it for him. He seems nice.
Oh, he would be absolutely over the moon if you were to mend his lute.
Yeah, I want to do that.
It'll be called 3-string.
It'll be 6-string.
Yeah.
A lute has like a ton of strings. I looked up how to string one.
They're like a 12-string, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. It's like crazy how it compared to guitar.
Well, is it a lute or is it a mandolin? One of them has like a shit ton of strings. I forget which one it is.
That'd be a lute. Mandolins, I think only like 4.
Yeah, you might be right. One has more, one has less.
And I don't remember it being that big.
So you cast mending on 3-strings lute, and it is now fixed to a full-stringed lute, however many strings that is. A figure approaches the bar and strokes his mustache. He adjusts his floppy hat and tightens his scarf. Volothamp Gedarm, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service. I trust you have noted the violence in our fair city these past 10 days. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now I fear I have misplaced a friend of mine amid this odious malevolence. My friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple of nights ago and was kidnapped, or worse. If you agree to help me and you can track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give you 10 times that when you find Floon. May I prevail upon you in my hour of deed. You seem well versed in the manners that may be needed to accomplish this task.
I'd be willing to help. Would anybody else?
Only if you'll be my very, very best friend.
Sounds like it's something for the good. I'm in.
All right. So,
Good.
Volo explains he's embarrassed to admit that he might have actually gotten his friend Floon in trouble. He kind of stammers, and he says that Volo is a writer, and you all are, without even having to make a check, you know who Volo is. He's been beset by writer's block. and Volo met Floon Blagmar for drinks at the Skewered Dragon 2 nights ago. They drank and gambled for a few hours, and then he says, oh, and then I left. That was the last I saw of Floon. The Skewered Dragon is down in the docks ward. And he says that I fear that perhaps, that whoever was after him was actually after me. My celebrity and all can sometimes get the best of me. And I am afraid that I may have dragged my good friend Floon into this troublesome problem.
And what are you going to do to assist with this?
That's why I'm hiring you. I am no adventurer. I may be a wizard, but I am merely a more academic since I'm a writer. My last book was very well reviewed. Perhaps you know of it, Volo's Guide to Monsters.
I love that book. Can you send this napkin for me?
Well, I can. When you return, assuming that you return with Floon, I would be happy to give you all a signed copy.
Ooh.
So, with you guys accepting this, he gives each of you 10 gold pieces. They are 10 gold dragons. So you can each collect 10 gold pieces. And he gives you directions to the Skewered Dragon.
Bartle's is going to make Volo her BFF, and they're going to paint each other's nails.
Are we resting at all before then? Did the drinking and stuff count as a short rest or anything?
That would count as a short rest, so you can spend your hit dice.
I think I can get a spell slot back.
If you would like to start your adventure searching for Floon, you can stay in the inn. It is 5 silver pieces to stay in the inn, and you can complete a long rest and get all of your hit points back. In fact, it won't cost you 5 silver pieces. Durnan, because of your assistance with the Sturges and the Troll, he's willing to put you up for the night, free of charge.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's just do that then.
Sweet.
I'll wake up inspired for no reason. Damn, it feels good to be a human, I say as I wake in the morning.
So, the next morning you head down to the dock ward. The dock ward, of course, that's where all the ships come in and dock. It is a fairly rough and tumble area. But he tells you that the tavern, the Skewered Dragon, was between Net Street and Fillet Lane, somewhere in this area. And so you head down towards the dock ward. As you turn a corner, you find yourselves in a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Hold on here. Oh, here we go. There we go, that's better. As you turn a corner, you find yourselves on a street that has been cordoned off by the city watch. Lying on the cobblestones are a half-dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees you and says, "Get on! Nothing to see here."
Just the decay of society, I guess.
Oh, that that's a good I vote Republican old woman's response.
Doing my best to roleplay.
I will tell the City Watch guy we've been charged by the Great Bolo to track down a friend. Is this perhaps connected?
Make a charisma check.
Just vanilla charisma?
Yep.
While he's doing that, can Sparkles roll a stealth check to wander into the middle of the scene so she can look at the dead bodies?
Certainly. Go ahead and make a stealth check. So on your... What did you get for charisma?
17.
17. So on your charisma check, the watch captain comes over, this gruff-looking woman, and she says, "Well, I don't know who this Bolo is, but this is a matter for the City Watch." She says, "As you can see, the Gentarim and the Xanathar Guild are at it again, killing each other on the streets." What did Sparkles get for your stealth?
22.
So you stealthily go through. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Come on, investigation. 16.
So on your 16, you see that the survivors that are shackled, they're being forced to kneel with their hands on their heads. You can tell that all three of them are Gentarim agents. And the series of corpses that you find, they all have a tattoo of a circle with 10 equidistant lines coming off of it.
Huh.
And the watch captain says, blood in the streets, the Gentarim and the Xanathar Guild are at it again. These three sots are going to be, tried for murder, and I'm looking to see them hang. I'm going to put a stop to all of this carnage in the streets. But that's a matter for the watch. You citizens need to move along.
Sparkles will yell out to her friends like, "Hey, these guys got crazy tattoos over here."
You, get away from those bodies. You're going to trample all over she says, "You're going to trample all over this is a crime scene and you're destroying evidence. Barnabas Blastwind will see to you if you don't get out of here."
What? Who? What? Huh? She just looks around scared like a little kid because she's only like 4 foot, so she's like, what's going on here? Who are you yelling at? What?
You guys kind of move along. There's really nothing for you to do here. Tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhoods in shadow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have had their glass smashed and their candles stolen, and the smells of salt air and excrement linger as you pass by rows of rundown buildings. One nearby shop stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its window hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out Old Zoblob Shop.
Well, that looks interesting.
Would you like to investigate the Old Zoblob Shop or continue looking for this tavern?
I want to look in the Zoblob shop.
Sure.
Okay. A cloud of lavender-scented purple smoke trails out of the shop's door as you peer inside. Every wall is painted purple, and every dusty knickknack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. The hairless old gnome sitting cross-legged on the counter wears a plum-colored robe. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes, and the gnome lowers a pipe and exhales a cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. "Hail and well met! Come browse the shelves of the most curious curiosity shop in the world."
So So everything I can look at's purple, right?
Yeah.
Is what else in here? I got the stuffed beholder. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Denver King does a bit of a Sound of Music swirl in the middle of it, enjoying the lavender and the plethora of purpledom.
Let me.
Sparkles will hold up one of the plushies and be like, "This thing is so adorable. Does it come in pink? I love pink."
Oh, that's Zoblob. And he tells you. He says. He points to the beholder, and he says, "You realize that this is actually not just a gnome. He's actually a deep gnome." And he tells you that he purchased a shop a few years ago. The stuffed beholder was in the window. It was a fixture. And I actually wanted to rename the place, but the name Old Zoblob stuck, so I changed it back.
Well, that's just fascinating. Does it come in pink?
No, everything here is purple.
But
Why?
Well, that's just the way of Old Zoblob.
Let's go. How much for a pipe and some of the violet weed?
Hold on here, and I will tell you.
It's a filthy habit, you know.
So, for a pipe, he says, "Well, I don't have very many pipes in here, but." Shit, it's been so long since I had to look him up. Was it Tosh's guide that had? No, I think it was Xanthas. There we are. Yep, it was Xanthas. So he points Empeking over to a pipe, and he says, "This is a pipe of smoke monsters." And he tells you, he says, that while smoking this pipe, you can use an action to exhale a puff of smoke that takes the form of a single creature, such as a dragon, a flump, or a froghemoth. The form must be small enough to fit in a 1-foot cube and loses its shape after a few seconds, becoming an ordinary puff of smoke. He will sell that to you for 1 gold piece.
Ooh, and how much for some violet leaf?
He'll sell you an ounce of pipe weed for 5 silver.
Okay. I'll do it.
Is there anything else here that's cool that's for sale?
Roll D100.
Oh, cool.
I wonder if it's got.
24.
Okay. 24.
Got it this way.
You find what is actually a multicolored stone disc, but it has been coated with this deep violet color, but underneath that powdery veneer, it is a multicolored stone disc.
It just looks cool. That's job.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Does anybody else want to take a look?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Go ahead and roll D100. You find a tiny silver bell without a clapper.
That seems strange.
Sparkles, you're looking around, you find as you're searching, something sticks out. You notice that there's a dead sprite inside a clear glass bottle.
A dead sprite?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say I examined the dead sprite because she loves sprites and pixies and things of that nature.
It is a very, very dead sprite. Really, more of a skeleton.
Well, I will take it to the person back. Well, what's this for? Why do you have dead sprites? That's so sad.
He says, I would sell that to you for 4 gold pieces.
But what does it do? Why is this necessary?
It's just a curiosity.
Poor little thing. I will take it for now, and maybe I can find a resurrection wish spell, and I will bring it back to life someday. Poor little thing.
Okay, he says 4 gold pieces.
That's sprite in a jar. Very sad.
So that's really all that's in here. He just sells trinkets and oddities.
Yes. All right. Well, that was interesting. Can keep going.
You make your way into an alley in between Net Street and Fillet Lane. The Skewered Dragon looks like a ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and a ship's anchor is actually lodged in the roof. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge, dirty tankards. It's the 505 Club.
Mm-hmm.
This is the tavern where Floon was last seen.
Maybe he was in charge of washing the tankards.
Who wants to make either an intimidation or persuasion check? If you decide to bribe or spread some gold around, you can make that with advantage.
I have +7 to both persuasion and intimidation. Unless someone has higher, then let's go with that.
No, I got those 2. All I can do is help. Probably not intimidate, but I could help persuade.
Well, I'll go with advantage on persuasion then. Let's see. Well, the best was an 18.
Okay. So several of the regulars in the Skewered Dragon remember seeing Volo and Floon drinking together a couple of nights ago. After Volo left, Floon stuck around long enough to meet with another friend, Renoir Neverember, the son of Waterdeep's previous Open Lord, Dagalt Neverember. Now, if you remember, this is, of course, metagame, but 2 campaigns ago, when you did Tyranny of Dragons, Dagalt Neverember was the Open Lord of Waterdeep, and mid-campaign was more or less pushed out and removed by the council, by the Masked Lords, and replaced with Laryl Silverhand. And he wasn't particularly happy about that. He didn't acknowledge the results of the election, and was kind of pissed off. Renoir Neverember is his son. And one of the patrons kind of sneers and he says, "Chip off the old block, that one. Just another spoiled rich noble who likes to rub our noses in it." They tell you that that Renoir and Floon drank together and played a few rounds of 3-Dragon Ante before leaving around midnight. One of the regulars looks at Empa King and holds out his hand and goes, kind of getting grabby for some gold.
I don't know what, 5.
He said, "Thank you, Gov. So, I can tell you that I saw 5 men follow them out, and no one here would know what happened after that. But he says, I know that those 5 men go right down the street, and you want to go to a old warehouse that they frequent on Candle Lane. Look for the snake symbol on the door."
If this is bad information, I'll be back.
Nope, my information's solid, Gov.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going to take off in about 15-20 minutes. I got to go do a eye exam appointment.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back. Ouch. As I run into the door. Okay, sorry about that. So you follow the directions to Candle Lane, and I'm not going to. There's so many streets. I'm not going to bother. Oh, no, that's Cod Lane. Never mind. So you follow the directions to Candle Lane. Gloom envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and an odorous as one too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle. When you get down to the end of this alley, you see that there's only one street light that's left, and even it has busted glass panes out of it. And but the candle is still lit, and you can tell that this candle is lit with a continual flame spell.
Ooh, that's fancy. I like that.
And it is hanging over a warehouse door that is illuminating a symbol of a black-winged snake painted above the door's handle.
Hey guys, I saw that on one of those people on the streets at one time.
Are there any windows up above?
So this is a... Damn it, Tessie. Get out. Fucking cat. So, yes, this is a 2-story building. Are there windows up above? You don't see any windows up at this point. And I'll show you where you guys actually are.
look.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No. Man. There we go. Double check. Lag, lag, lag. Yeah. So this is where you guys are at. And this is a large, garage bay door, like a big entrance to the warehouse. This is a regular front door. That's where you're seeing the black winged snake symbol above the door handle. And the northern wall here, this is a window, but the window has been painted black. So you can't see in. And from this angle, there's no windows on the second story.
So that big door is probably like a slide door on a barn?
Correct.
I guess I'll go up and knock.
Okay. There's no answer.
Since you're my BFF, I'll go with you.
Aw.
We'll ask them if they want Fairy Scout cookies.
Yeah. It'd really help out the group.
And Bug can ask them if they have a moment to speak about the crushing wave.
Yeah. We have a lot to offer them. Maybe we should. Is there any way to use our friend from the tavern who has the snake tattoo to help us? Because I think that's needed.
He knows the secret handshake.
So, hold on to that thought.
Does anybody know thaumaturgy? Boom! Boom!
I can Eldritch Blast the door, but I don't think it'll do a lot.
I'm gushed.
We'll talk about knocking like the police.
I have Mage Hand and Gust. Those will come in handy, sure.
Everybody can make a perception check.
Yeah, shit, no.
Rolled a nat one.
Oof.
I got 16.
13 for Sparkles.
Okay. So, yeah, there's no answer. what would you guys like to do? I mean, you could kick. I'm sure that. I mean, Bug is probably the strongest. He could probably kick in the front door.
Is there evil afoot inside? Do I sense? Oh, I guess I can do a sense. Do I sense evil inside?
You
I forgot I'm a paladin. I have that ability.
are Crash. All right, so Bug, go ahead and make a. So, are you swinging your maul on the door, or are you going to just try to push on the door with your maul?
I'm swinging in my maul, trying to hit that spot where like the door lock would be.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
18.
Yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
10.
Okay, so Bug swings his maul down and shatters the bolt through the door jamb, and the door swings open. This door down here. What would you guys like to do?
Go in there in orderly fashion.
Okay. Tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor. The corpses of a dozen men lie along the walls, their rapiers and daggers lying nearby. On the north side of the area, stairs rise to an open level up above.
So we busted the lock to get in here, is that right?
Yeah, he basically hit the door right where the bolt goes into the door jamb and just busted the door jamb completely off.
Okay, well I'm gonna mend it because I feel bad about breaking the door. Any potential survivors.
Okay, so you mend the door.
Come on, you guys gotta get in here though before I do it because I don't want to lock you out. Well, I guess I could mend it and then not have it locked because I'm inside. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
I put it back the way I found it is the important thing. I can't do that with all these dead people though. But sure, a lot of them. Do they have tattoos?
They do. All of them have tattoos with the black winged snake.
Did we get a description of the guy we're trying to find? So if he's one of these dead people, we'll definitely know. Or
Let me take a look.
Everybody, we're rescuing someone, but we didn't bother to ask what they look like.
Yeah, they gave you a basic description of what Floon looks like, and none of these guys match the description.
okay, we can keep on looking then, I guess. You know what? I sense danger. And since mage armor lasts for 8 hours, I think I'm gonna cast it now.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
The lack of napkins I regret. Oh, 10. Must find nectar.
Okay. As you guys are, so Edith cast Mage Armor on herself, and you guys are kind of poking around looking for these, or examining these corpses. From behind crates in the warehouse, 4 Kenku pop up, and because they have surprise, they get to attack. This Kenku is going to fire his short bow on Impa with a 24 to hit
Good lord.
for 9 piercing.
Yeah, scary it is being a level 1 character.
And actually, there's only 3 Kenku. There would have been 4, but because Billy had to leave a little bit early. This Kenku up here is going to fire on Edith. Shit. 23 to hit for 4 piercing. And this last one is going to fire on Bug. 14 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. Impa, what would you like to do?
Is it Kenku on top of the boxes? Can I see him? He shot at me, so...
You know he's there. He's behind the crates, though. He has 3/4 cover.
I'll move to the corner of the building. Bonus action Hex on him.
Okay.
With, I don't know. What saves does your spell use, Edith?
Let me see here. I have one for con.
Yeah, let's give him disadvantage on con checks.
Okay.
Then I will Blasty Blast with Eldritch.
Okay.
The 17 hit.
Yes, it does.
There's that. There's that. Plus 2 more, so 14 points.
Oh. All right. So he goes down. Bug, what would you like to do? So the other 2 are up here behind this pile of crates here.
Alright.
They have 3/4 cover.
Not much for the ranged attacks this one is, so... Let's see here. So if I were to go here and, like, I guess crouch or whatever, would that give me 3/4 cover from them?
Hold on here. If you... Yes.
If I'm a bug, I don't know.
Yes, it would give you a +5 to your AC for 3/4 cover.
Okay, then that's what I'll do.
Okay.
And that's my turn. I don't know, I guess as an action, I'll take whatever that defending action is.
Okay. So, yeah, you could take the dodge action. That'll give them disadvantage on any attack against you.
Cool.
Edith, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna move here, and then I think, let me see, I'm gonna cast Infestation
Oh,
on
okay.
this guy.
So he gets a con check, is that correct?
Yeah, and that's the one that should be a disadvantage.
He's at disadvantage for that?
No, I haven't gotten to move my hex yet. I used
Oh.
the first guy I killed, but next turn I can move it to one of them.
That's fine.
Well, it doesn't matter. He got a 4.
Cool, let me roll some damage.
So I'm going to give him the little snail. He's got snails. So how much damage?
5 poison. Let me see. I can actually make it out the door to get more cover.
Okay.
Let's begin.
So he is very unhappy about that. Let's see. These crates are going to give him difficult terrain. That's 10, 20, 25, 30. And he will make a... So, if he does... So, Infestation, does that mean he's got disadvantage on his attacks now?
I don't think so. I think he just gets covered in like disgusting mites momentarily and it causes poison damage. That's what it seems like it does.
I thought maybe he might be... Let me double check. Because I thought maybe he might be at disadvantage from, itching and...
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was like a cloud, like, and then you get bit like a shit and then it's gone.
He moves 5 feet in a random direction since he missed his con save.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At least that's what the text says.
I did not know that. Cool.
So then he couldn't make it there. He makes it to right there because he had to spend 5 feet of movement being random. This one, let's see, 10, 20, 25, 30, and he will... He'll make a short bow attack on Bug. $17 to hit.
That is.
For 8 piercing.
That bastard, you.
Is Bug still up?
Yep.
Okay. Impa King, what would you like to do?
I will come up to where nearly where the king was standing. Make my shot from close to the boxes. Move Hex to that one.
Okay.
So he is now at disadvantage on con, but it's mainly to get me extra damage on my blast.
Okay. Oops.
18 to hit.
That hits.
That damage, plus 2. 15.
Okay, and he is blasted into the nether regions.
Then I'll move back behind the boxes with the last bit of my movement.
Okay. But
Did that dodge apply to that last attack, by the way?
oh, you know what? It did not. Let me double check. Does he hit? Yeah, he still hits because the other
Okay.
roll was higher, so.
Right on. Okay. I'm going to attack the last one. And since I'm Bugbear, I got that extra range, so I don't have to get closer to him.
Okay. Yeah, 10 feet. 10 feet of range is nice.
Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Sweet. $12 damage.
Oof. You just swing that maul and crush his skull. And he goes down.
Let there be a lesson to you against the ways of evil.
Okay. So, these guys, they each have on them you find 12 silver pieces between all three of them. What would you guys like? You're out of combat, so what would you like to do as far as there? So you're in the main room, and like I said, there's a second story that's open over this this warehouse. There's like a catwalk that goes all the way around, and looking up at this it's like a metal framed catwalk. On the northern end of the building where this metal frame catwalk is, you can see that there's what looks like probably offices up there.
I only have 2 hit points.
Yeah, we should heal you first and then investigate. Do we have a way to do that though?
We could short rest in a back corner of some other alley and watch if traffic's coming in and around or something for that hour.
Sure.
I mean, I could do the paladin lay on hands thing and give myself 5 points of healing, can't I?
You can.
That'll get me back up to 10.
If we short rest, we can use we get 1 hit dice, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Certain areas it's dark and secluded enough that we can sit in a corner and have a sandwich for an hour?
Yeah, everybody can make a perception check as well.
17.
Okay. So yeah, you can spend hit dice, your 1 hit dice to get hit points back, and you can sit in a corner and eat a sandwich. And don't forget.
Before we leave, did these guys have any? You said they were shooting us with arrows, right?
Correct.
Did they have any arrows left or any?
Did
they have like a usable weapon?
So on these guys, you find there's a number of weapons throughout here. So there are rapiers, there are daggers, there are short bows, and there are at least 3 quivers with 18 arrows each in them.
All right.
Take 'em.
Right now, I'm gonna take one of the short bows and the quiver worth of 18 arrows, since I've learned twice now that I get hurt going up close.
Right? Lesson learned.
Down there, I'm gonna wait on that.
Pick up a spare quiver and carry it for you if you like.
Sure. I mean, I have like stupid amount of carrying ability as a bugbear.
So you guys hear like some shuffling and muffled sounds coming from this storeroom under the stairs to the north.
So you guys, let's see. You guys want me to use Mage Hand to open it?
Sure.
Okay, let me see if I can do that from here. Not quite. Okay. I'll have to hide, like, over here, I guess, and do it.
Okay, so Edith kind of ducks down behind some crates and uses mage hand and pulls the door open, and out stumbles Renoir, Neverember. He's unarmed, and he's like, "Oh, wait, you're not Gentrim or any thugs." And Renoir tells you, he says, what are you doing here? Who are you?
We're adventurers. We were hired to find. Wait, is he the one, or are we finding somebody else?
You're looking for Floon.
Floon.
Oh, we're looking for Floon.
So Floon, the last time that he was seen with Renoir, and they left the Skewer Dragon together. And when you tell him that you're looking for Floon, Renoir kind of looks at the floor and acts guilty. And he says, on the night of the abduction, I was concerned that Floon was too intoxicated to find his way home by himself, and so I offered to escort him. We were jumped by 5 thugs, and as they left Fillet Lane, and we headed north on Zastra Street. I feel guilty that Floon was taken. I believe that they actually mistook Floon for me. He says, I would be happy to join you in searching for Floon. And he reaches down and picks up a dagger and a rapier. And he says, I'll join you if you want. Gentrim think that my father embezzled a large amount of gold while he was open lord, and that he hid the dragon somewhere in the city. They think that they can find him by using an artifact called the Stone of Galor, which was in the hands of the Xanathar Guild until recently. Apparently someone has stolen it. The Gents thought I knew something about all of this, but I don't. My father and I haven't spoken in years.
You should call him.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was saying you should call his dad sometime. That's all.
You are playing your character so well.
You really should send a sending spell to your dad.
I asked, does he think maybe they took Floon upstairs, or has he heard Floon's voice or movement, or what might we prepare for?
He says, I don't know where Floon went.
Is he hurt at all, or is he just like freaked out?
He says, he tells you, he says, that he believes that these Zentrim bodies that you found in here, this was a Zentrim hideout. The Kenku were actually a part of the Xanathar Guild. And so the Xanathar Guild came and killed the Zents, but Renoir tells you that he hid in the closet once the fighting started, but he did see that some of the Zents, or that a couple of the Xanathar members took Floon out of the warehouse and down into an alley, but he didn't see any further than that.
Okay, so there's probably not a lot upstairs to deal with, I'd imagine.
Probably, he didn't see anybody go upstairs. And just from down here, looking up, it's pretty obvious that people haven't been upstairs in quite some time.
And it's not like there's going to be Xanathar Guild information up there, so I guess we need to try and see if anybody else saw where they went, I suppose.
Everybody can make a investigation check.
$23.
Another nat 1.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What about Empa King?
Oh, I got a 16.
Okay. So, Empa King and Edith, you do find a sheaf of paper. Both of you can make a Arcana check.
Nat 20.
Top 20.
Okay. You both know that this is something that would be known as a paper bird. It is a wondrous item, uncommon, does not require attunement. After you write a message of 50 words or fewer on this magic sheet of parchment and speak a creature's name, the parchment magically folds into a tiny paper bird and flies to the recipient whose name you uttered. The recipient must be on the same plane of existence as you, otherwise the bird turns into ash as it takes flight. The bird is an object that has 1 hit point, an armor class of 13, a flying speed of 60 feet, and a dexterity of 16, and a score of 1 in all other abilities, and it is immune to poison and psychic damage. It travels to within 5 feet of its intended recipient by the most direct route, whereupon it turns into a non-magical and inanimate sheet of parchment that can be unfolded only by the intended recipient. If the bird's hit points or speed is reduced to 0, or if it is otherwise immobilized, it turns to ash.
Should we follow it?
Well, it's just it's an open plain sheet of paper with like a band around it of these magical incantations, and that's how you know that this is a paper bird.
No one has written in it yet, so we could address it to our guy and then follow him, right?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right, I'll do it. I have nice handwriting.
You're old enough to write in cursive.
That's right.
So you write the name of Floon on this, and the bird folds up and takes flight, and actually, perhaps, maybe.
Should we loot the bodies of the dead people too? The dead Zentrum before we go?
Of course.
You could. So in addition to their daggers and rapiers, so if anybody wants a dagger or a rapier, you can take one of those. You find another 15 silver pieces.
Sweet. So basically we each got a gold out of it. Are we sharing this with our pixie friend?
No, they're not here for it. I mean, they'll share if we need to buy stuff.
No, we're keeping it all to ourselves. Fuck that guy.
I'll just forget to give it out, you know? I know myself.
So, Edith writes on the parchment sheet, and the paper bird folds up and flies out, and it flies down down the alley, and it tries to go into a sewer entrance, but it can't get through the entrance, and so it turns to ash before this sewer.
Tell me we brought the other one with us. Did we bring the other one with us too?
The other guy?
No, the other piece of paper.
Were there 2 of them?
Yeah, there's 2.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'd leave it there. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We could use that one once we're inside.
All right, we will pick this up next week at 12 o'clock on Saturday and continue with the search for Floon as you enter the sewers of Waterdeep. Because, I mean, every D&D game you have to end up in a sewer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a requirement.
I mean, it was right up there with how you build a character.
Right.
Sewer level. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you next week. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep, see you guys next week.
How to do